Come and see, Fräulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you. I'd be delighted.
Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Vorarlberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Wagen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire, so he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fräulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the hymn of Wagen played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Wagen's most famous musician at the beginning of the century. But her legend was truly born the night she performed a cello concerto, right here on the square. It was also the night of the worst fire in Wagen's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did, as well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Wagen's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Vera Schönberg. Was there something else, Fräulein Rose?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fräulein.
According to Frau Beckmann, it opens the maintenance room just next to the clock tower. It's locked.
Hey, careful what you're doing here, right? Don't go and injure yourself or damage any of the material. I just come down from the tower. You can tell Frau Beckman everything's in order up there. The mechanism's in perfect condition.
According to what the maintenance guy told Dana, there should be an access to the clock tower somewhere in the room.
Oh, I've already checked over everything upstairs. There's no point you going up there.
I would love to be able to climb to the top of the clock tower. They say the mechanism is incredible. The spare parts for the automatons on the square. Frau Beckmann told me to look at the mechanisms on the square. I wonder what they look like, especially now that they've been inspected by the maintenance men.
Looks like the rector was right, Oscar. I should be able to find the mechanisms he wants me to repair by following the circuit Dana described in the report.
They would still need to be accessible to us today, Kate Walker.
Glad to see you haven't lost any of your legendary... It looks like the rector is desperate to reduce the costs of running the academy. We're going to have to find all the automatons, Oscar.
According to the Rectoress's report, the model situated next to the piano in the kiosk shows their location and whether they've been repaired.
Go and write out your report to Frau Beckman. There's nothing else for you to do here.
So you're the one Frau Beckman sent, are you? Well, you can tell her there's no problem with this automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.
The maintenance man said it was functional. I shouldn't touch it. It seems perfectly functional.
You can tell Frau Beckman This automaton still works correctly, but it's so filthy that it won't last long. It's going to take me the whole day to give it a good clean if it's to get past winter.
You'll find the maintenance man next to each of the musical mechanisms.
I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if he were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltea with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper. And I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay. I would love to be able to climb to the top of the clock tower. They say the mechanism is incredible.
Oh, go on, off you go.
Looks like they've tried to blend all these new shops into the original facades. Doesn't make it any less a tourist trap, though. Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing.
Frau Beckmann told me to look at the mechanisms on the square. I wonder what they look like, especially now that they've been inspected by the maintenance men.
I don't think they mentioned this code, and given the condition of that door, it should give way if I force it a bit.
Impossible, Cakewalker. Such an act.
Looks like a part is missing. The connection between this mechanism and the other ones on the square seems to be operating. The connection between this mechanism and the other ones on the square seems to be operational.
Make the most of it. I've left the mechanism open.
The report that the rectoress of the academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. I'm not going to try every possible combination. There must be a way of finding out the code.
Dana Rose must have been able to see the code when she went to see the maintenance man in 1937.